Have you noticed how since you started awakening, you feel exhausted after spending time around other people? Well, it's because during a spiritual awakening, your energy gets disrupted by other people. That's why energy protection is one of the very first things that I teach my clients. It's only after you start protecting your energy field that you can feel more energized and more calm. So in this video, I'm going to show you 2 easy and effective tools you can use to keep your energy field strong and safe. To start, let's look at how your energy gets affected when you spend time around others. For many years, I didn't realize that I had an energy field, let alone that it could be affected by other people. I thought it was just me, my mood, my mind playing tricks on me. But the truth is, every single one of us has an energetic boundary. And for many of us, that boundary is wide open. And when it's wide open, you don't just see and hear what's going on around us, you feel it too. We feel the unspoken frustration from the person next to us, at the grocery store, or we feel this very weird low-level anxiety when we are on a very crowded train. But here's the thing most people don't realize. This happens constantly, and it's rarely obvious for us in the moment. Instead, it kind of sneaks up on you. You're going about your day and suddenly you feel off, or you feel heavier, or you feel like you've been irritated for no reason, like you've been running all day even though you've barely done anything. And here's where it gets really tricky. We start thinking that these feelings are ours. We start making reasons up for why we're upset, why we're tired, why we're in this weird, funky mood. But in reality, there's a really high chance that we've been carrying someone else's energetic baggage without even knowing it. And this is especially intense for empaths and highly sensitive people. When you're naturally tuned into other people, you're like a sponge. And sponges don't get to really choose what they soak up. They just absorb everything that is around. And over time, the constant energetic absorption takes a toll, and you can start to lose touch with your own center and intuition. You might find yourself adjusting your behavior to match the mood of a room, or avoiding certain people altogether because it's just too exhausting to be around others. You might even start to feel like you've lost your, spark. During your spiritual awakening especially, you are incredibly sensitive to energies. When I was going through my spiritual awakening, I became hypersensitive to the energy of other people. There have been so many instances where I would be on a train and there would be a specific person in the same car as me, and they could have been standing 5 meters away from me, but there were a few times when, something just didn't feel right. Like I started to feel quite uneasy. Maybe that person was frustrated or disturbed in their energy, but I would already feel it. So at the next stop, I would always just change train cars in order to feel more calm and not so jittery and restless. Even the smallest of things that others might not pick up on, I was very sensitive to. And here's the danger in not protecting your energy field. When you don't have a way to protect it, you're basically letting the world decide your emotional state for you. Your energy is like a house with no front door. Anyone and anything can walk right in. So how can you put up a boundary and take back control of your energy? Back a few years ago, I met a woman who soon became a friend. We didn't see each other very often, maybe once a month for dinner or just to hang out. But every time I would feel very happy and energized on my way to meet her. She was very sweet and very kind. But as our time together went on, something would begin to shift. I would start to feel tired, I would have trouble focusing, and I would find myself kind of tuning in and out of the conversation. By the end of our time together, I would feel like I want to crawl out of my own skin. And I began to wonder, did I have a bad night of sleep? Am I feeling frustrated because I had a really long, working day and I feel fatigued? I couldn't figure it out. And it wasn't until our 3rd or 4th get together that it actually clicked. About 95% of what she talked about was negative. Complaints about work, frustrations with other people, a constant stream of disappointments, about her life or her behaviors. And she was using our time together to vent all her negativity to me, and I was soaking it up like a sponge. So no wonder that after a few hours of spending time together, I was so drained I wanted to cry. And that was the moment when I realized that my energy needed protecting. I finally understood that my mood, my sense of self, and even my physical well-being was being shaped by the energy of the people around me. And that's a very dangerous way to live, because if your energy is constantly being hijacked, you can't show up as your real self. Protecting your energy isn't about becoming cold or shutting people out. It's about maintaining the integrity of your inner world and setting boundaries so you can show up as your best self without being drained by others. Think about it this way. Your energy is your foundation. It's the base that you stand on every single day. And if that base is shaky because you're letting other people's stress, fear, or anger seep into it, then everything you try to build on top, your confidence, your focus, your well-being, it's going to be unstable too. So when you have a strong energetic boundary, something shifts. You stop being swept away by other people's emotional weather. You can walk into a tense room and you can still feel grounded. You can talk to somebody who's upset without being pulled into their storm, into their feelings. You can notice someone's mood without taking it on yourself. And here's the big one. You start to reconnect with your own truth, because so often when our energy is unprotected, we confuse other people's emotions for our own. We think we're angry when really we've absorbed somebody else's anger. We think that we're feeling hopeless when actually we've been soaking it in from other people and our environment. And this realization was a huge deal for me, because for most of my life, I struggled with codependency and people pleasing. And on top of that, I am naturally a very sensitive person. So I would constantly find myself drained because I would absorb other people's stress, anxiety, worries, complaints, because I didn't know how else to function. So protecting your energy gives you clarity. It helps you separate yourself from others. It puts you back in the driver's seat of your own inner world. So how do you actually know when it's time to protect your energy? Here's how I see it. You don't wait until your house is flooding to start patching the roof. You protect your energy before you step into situations that could drain you. And the more often you do it, the easier and faster it becomes. So think about protecting your energy in these situations. Crowded places. Think about shopping centers, concert, public transport, a big office building. You're surrounded by hundreds of emotional broadcasts, and your system will pick them up whether you want to or not. You also need to think about work environments, especially if you're dealing with office politics, high stress, tight deadlines, and clients who are on edge. We spend so much time enveloped in work, so it's especially important that we protect ourselves energetically. You also need to protect yourself during or before difficult conversations, whether it's with a partner, a friend, or a family member. Emotions from others can run really high and easily spill into your energy field. And it's also important to take into consideration if you work closely with others, meaning you work with people that are in pain, have emotional or physical challenges. So think about psychologists, massage therapists, nurses, physiotherapists, social workers, etc. For example, before I work with clients, I always protect my energy field. And it's only this way that I can best support others when I have my own energy container protected and contained within myself. But really, no matter the situation, I really recommend using protection in everyday life. Think of it like brushing your teeth. You don't wait until you get a toothache to actually do it. You do it daily so you don't get a toothache. So really, it's about daily energetic hygiene. Once you start, you'll notice patterns. So you will start to notice that certain people or places always leave you feeling drained. And that's a sign you definitely need to shield up before engaging. And over time, it becomes really second nature. You will walk into a space and automatically set your boundary without even thinking about it. You're going to learn how to notice when something's starting to seep in, and then you need to protect yourself immediately. So how do you put this boundary into place? I'm going to show you a technique that I use daily. This practice is quick, easy, and it works. I'm also going to show you two ways to do this: a visualization and a way to do it without a visualization. visualization in case you struggle with that. So first, you're going to find yourself in a comfortable position. It can be sitting or it can also be standing. And you are going to close your eyes and take 3 slow, deep breaths. Really focus on feeling the weight of your body and imagine your feet connecting into the earth like roots. So this is going to ground you in your own energy. And as you're sitting or standing, imagine that these roots from your feet are beginning to grow deep into the ground until it reaches the core of the earth, and then it wraps around the core of the earth. So then as you're breathing, you're focusing on these roots wrapping around the core of the earth, and you are going to start inhaling. And with each breath as you inhale, imagine drawing up this energy from the core of the earth up the roots into your body. As it starts to spread into your body, all of this energy that's coming from the core of the earth. So this first step is really about grounding, and it is crucial because it helps you connect to a bigger energy source from which you can really center yourself and draw energy from. So really the grounding is all about connecting to the earth, seeing roots growing into the ground, wrapping around the core of the earth. And then after you ground, you're going to do the energy shield technique. So for those who can visualize, you are going to imagine a small ball of light forming around your chest area. And it can be any color that feels powerful and safe to you. So for example, you can see this ball of energy in golden white light, and you're going to breathe into it, and with each breath you're going to see it expand more and more and more until it completely envelops you. And it should be about, 1 foot outside of your body. So if you're imagining it, the bubble would look like this. So as you're focusing on this ball of energy, expanding more and more until it fully envelops you, you're then going to continue breathing, and you're going to imagine this ball of energy getting thicker. So imagine it about 3 inches or 7 centimeters thick. So it begins to expand into the outside like a thicker layer that's growing. This is your energetic shield, and only positive and supportive energy can pass through. Everything else bounces off. And once the shield is in place, you're going to set an intention in your mind or out loud. I choose to keep my energy clear, positive, and protective. Only what serves my highest good can enter my space. All other energy bounces off. So be it, and so it is. So this energy bubble really serves as your protective shield. So the steps that are important to do are imagining the ball of energy, it growing and growing and growing as you breathe until it covers your whole body about an arm's length out, and then that energy field getting thicker. And then once it is in place, setting an intention to really seal the deal, so it is. And always, for whatever intention you set, end the sentence or the intention with "so be it," and so it is. For those that find it easier without visualizing, instead of imagining this shield in your mind, you're going to draw it with your hand. So after the grounding exercise with the roots, with your eyes closed or open, you're going to take your hand and you're going to start drawing a huge circle around yourself. So if you are sitting, for example, in meditation position like me, imagine taking your hand and starting to circle all the way out. Then with your other hand, you grab it, you continue it this way. So you got the energy field covered this way, and then you take it from top, catch it all the way through your legs, through your hips, and you can really do it in all directions as long as you cover your whole body. And you can do the same thing standing up as well. And then once you draw the circle around yourself, you're going to set the same intention in your mind or out loud. I choose to keep my energy clear, strong, and protective. Only what serves my highest good can enter my space. All other energy bounces off. So be it, and so it is. Do this energy shield technique daily to set up an energetic boundary with others so you don't feel drained and you don't feel exhausted, especially if you are going through a spiritual awakening. And remember, the more you practice this, the more natural it's going to become and the better you're going to feel. You're going to feel more calm, more clear, and in control. no matter really what's happening around you, you're gonna feel way more centered and grounded. But protecting your energy is just one piece of the puzzle. Spiritual awakenings can really bring up a lot of other physical and mental challenges too. So if you find yourself struggling, watch this video next where I share with you 3 simple and powerful habits that will ease your mind and calm your body.